What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Webinar Tuesday to you guys. Hopefully everyone is having a good week. Noticed that last week I was kind of off the grid. I was on vacation. Chris doesn't do that very often, but during the summer I go on a couple of golf trips. Had a great chance to go up to my native home in Wisconsin and played over 20 rounds of golf. Actually hit the historic U.S. Open 2017 track of Erin Hills. That was pretty cool. Broke 100, but barely. It was a rough course. Got a really great webinar for you guys all today. I have Brandon Morris from Barron's on with us today. What's up, sir? How are you?
Doing well. Yourself?
Doing really well. Happy to be back in Austin. Happy to be back home. It's kind of, I lived literally out of a suitcase, and it's funny. It's my first my second trip of 2020. We haven't done, I almost forgot how the hell to travel, right? It's just, it's crazy what it does. But you're down in Mobile, Alabama, I think we were talking about earlier, right?
That's correct.
Cool. And so Barron's is a QuickBooks hosting reseller. Talk to us about what Barron's does, and then we're going to get into how MSPs can use this to basically build their own recurring revenue selling QuickBooks services.
Sure. So technically with Intuit, I'm considered a QSP, as QuickBooks Solution Provider. So we do outside sales for Intuit. Intuit's got their own internal sales, but anything that doesn't fit into the flip chart or that the internal sales team may not know about, especially in the realm of integrations or how to make QuickBooks do something that it really kind of doesn't do natively. If they can't close the sale, they'll send it to us. So we do the sales, and then we also do the implementation as well. So we do sales, service, consulting, training, third-party integration, everything that revolves around QuickBooks.
So, I think back, I used QuickBooks internally. I actually still use QuickBooks Online internally. But I often looked at new revenue streams and new avenues that I could potentially lead. And, you think about this from an MSP client, an ideal client standpoint. Other than getting to the enterprise, this is about a fit for every single client. It's a great lead magnet, great lead generation source, because you could use QuickBooks going in all the way up to your enterprise. What's your thoughts on that? Is that a good idea or a good mindset?
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as a lead source for MSPs, it's great. As well as it's kind of a two-way street. So my perfect client is somebody that's already using an MSP. That's really a target market for us, somebody that's not afraid to spend money on the right software, the right equipment. But there's, in my world, the passive residual revenue, which everybody's after, especially MSPs.
We all want it, right? Yeah.
QuickBooks Online, it's payments. We sell payments through the QuickBooks solution. That's not a great fit for everybody, but if we can put them there, bookkeepers love it because the reconciliation, the integration is great. So there's passive residual income in the payments, in the payroll, in the renewals of QuickBooks Enterprise, QuickBooks Point of Sale, and the payments that go along with that. So it's a great source. And when I'm out doing a consulting job, a lot of times I come back to, all right, who's your MSP, who's your IT guy? Because I've got questions on their networking, on the server, on the security piece of it, where a lot of pro advisors, QuickBooks professionals, we know that we've got to open ports to make QuickBooks work right. But the rub where a lot of pro advisors come in and with MSPs is they'll open ports and not tell the MSP what they've done. So now you've got an insecure server, if you will.
You got a big security hole for sure, at the very least, right?
Exactly. And I love working with MSPs and IT professionals so that we can make sure the customer is fixed. They don't want to hire me to come in and fix QuickBooks and break something else. So that's, but yeah, it's a great lead source on both sides and a great revenue potential on both sides.
Yeah, one of the things that we were talking about early, and just so you guys that are watching this understand, Brandon and his team can work with any MSP worldwide and they can manage. And the beauty of cloud and working remote and all these different things is you can have a QuickBooks certified partner and a QuickBooks Pro advisor really in your back pocket. That's kind of what I see with you guys. Am I accurate with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was, you and I had the discussion a little bit earlier. So right now we've got 73, and that's growing on the accountant advisors, part of our network. So I've got a map of them. They're nationwide, and one over in Trinidad. We're still growing that, but my ideal is to have an MSP, at least one in every state, just like I've got bookkeepers and IT professionals, or bookkeepers and CPAs, accounting professionals, that we can link up. If you come to me and say, hey, I've got somebody in Austin, they've got QuickBooks issues, have you got somebody that can help? If I can't help here, at least I could have boots on the ground there. So
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do, in addition to obviously the making money part of it, but being able to help the client, and that's where the money comes in.
Yeah, and I think, one of the other things that we see for you guys as you grow, and I think you told me that the MSP division of this is pretty new, but you guys have
Yeah.
been in business for a long time, which is awesome because you're branching into a very unique division, and you're going to have leads for MSPs that are also going to be a fit for this too. So I think, for you guys that are watching this, not only is this having a QuickBooks certified pro advisor in your back pocket, but it's having somebody that can actually drive leads into your back end, which are huge from that standpoint, because it's marketing to a completely different set of eyes at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime that we walk in, or we've got boots on the ground that walk into a place and realize that they don't have an MSP, they don't have somebody, or they walk into a problem, we want somebody to call. So it's instant leads as soon as we walk in. And 99% of the time, when I walk into a new customer, they don't have a professional MSP. They don't have somebody that knows what they're doing. And that's where the biggest part of my headaches come in. We know QuickBooks and the integration and the third-party solutions that work with it, but man, if their network is shot, their server is not working right, we're kind of shot. So everything that I do revolves around an MSP as well.
Yeah. And, one of the things that we talk about in MSP land now is how important cybersecurity is and how important making sure that things are locked down tight. That's definitely an avenue for you that you can see. And it's very unique when you come in from the financial side, because you're already talking to decision makers. That's who's contracting you. And it gives you an angle that makes the MSP close much, much faster, because you're having like the time to close in that scenario working with those people is much shorter. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. When we walk in, or Zoom in, however we're going to do that, the customer
Zoom in, right? Yeah.
the customer already trusts us with the heart of their business. That's their books, their financials. It's what in our little eco world, it's called a trusted advisor. We come in, we're talking to them about systems, about processes, mainly that revolve around their books or their financials. But if we tell them, look, you really need to secure this system, first time you get hacked, you're going to be screwed, and you need to be proactive rather than reactive. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and think of the advantage that is for an MSP sales cycle, because they actually have the QuickBooks certified pro advisor literally saying, you guys have to do something about this. That leads right into an MSP sale. So I really like that a lot.
Absolutely.
You mentioned the QuickBooks Pro Advisor thing. What kind of back end did you have to go through with QuickBooks? And I want to just get this out there, because I want to make sure that you guys that are watching this understand that Brandon and his team are actually QuickBooks certified and Intuit certified. So what are your actual credentials with Intuit?
So we are. So a pro advisor, you can pay and be a pro advisor. All you got to do is pay. To be a certified pro advisor, you take a test on whatever platform. So there's QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Enterprise, and Point of Sale. We're certified on all of those. We've taken all their tests. Now, to be very transparent, I'm not a QBO expert. I can sell it. I can tell you the ins and outs of it as far as what you need for the type of business that you run, the number of employees you've got. So, but I've got 73 pro advisors, and most of them are very proficient in QBO. So if you need an expert, I can get you with an expert. A few of those are even in the Writer Trainer Network or Intuit. But so to be a QSP, what we do is you have to be a pro advisor first. You've got to be certified. And then we take it a step further, and to be a solution provider, you need to have the expertise to recommend the right products to go along with the QuickBooks. And then obviously some sales background. We do sales for Intuit. So making the right products, the right fits. We maintain a certain quota. Obviously, we're trying to get to the elite tier. We're not there yet, but that's what we do every day, day in, day out. As we sell, we service, and we consult with business owners on almost any type of industry. If I don't do it, I've got somebody that probably specializes in different industries that you would need, or your customers would need.
Yeah. Where would you say like the real sweet spot is from your standpoint? Which clients and maybe which products as well?
Products for me is QuickBooks Enterprise and QuickBooks Point of Sale. The two reasons are and one way that we work with MSPs is if you've got a customer already on QuickBooks Enterprise, if we get a reseller record, an ROR form, attaching you to that customer, which takes a one-page document with a signature and their license number on it, you get recurring revenue every time that customer renews. So every month or annually, you'll get a commission on that sale, even though you didn't sell it. Customer just has to be already on it. So that's Intuit pays us the largest commission on enterprise and on point of sale. But the beauty of both of those products are they're a little bit larger customer. They've got more users, and they see the benefit, the value of spending money on software and hardware that work. So obviously having the buy-in from the customer that realize that if they'll spend the money on the infrastructure, but then we can also usually get the payments account and a lot of times the payroll account on those as well. And that's more recurring revenue. So that's the sweet spot for us.
Well, and I think not only the things that you're talking about there, obviously the recurring revenue is nice, especially for the MSP. That's nice. But the real killer here is the fact that you're getting a referral directly into an MSP from the QuickBooks Certified Pro Advisor. That's a no-brainer, because where MSPs really make their money, this is that recurring, what we call MRR in this industry. I think it's very similar to other industries too, but that monthly recurring revenue under agreement. And one of the things that we see so much now is making sure that cybersecurity and liability are really, really taken care of. So I think, those two things just go together so well it's so key to have that relationship with someone like you, especially when you're talking all over the place. Now, how can MSPs actually use the fact that they're tied in with a QuickBooks Pro Advisor as a lead generation source, not necessarily coming from you, but the MSP going out there? Do you have marketing? I know we were talking about some putting together, and one of the things that I'm going to be doing for you guys is we're going to put together some lead generation pages for you to give MSPs. Anything else that you guys have to help MSPs drive leads to their bottom line with QuickBooks Pro services in mind?
So yeah, we've got a number of marketing tools that Intuit puts together for us that we can put in your hands. But then just quick, easy questions. I don't like carrying around papers or marketing tools, things like that. I mean, we can obviously email, but simple, easy questions. I mean, just when you walk in, you're having the conversation, you're looking at their stuff. You can I know most of you can run a report, and you know what your customers are on. You could probably tell me within 10 minutes every customer that you've got running QuickBooks Desktop or QuickBooks Enterprise.
Yeah.
But asking pointed questions, hey, how's QuickBooks running for you? Are you seeing any performance issues? Is it lagging? Does it take a long time to run reports? A lot of times as a matter of fact, I had a conversation with MSP 2 weeks ago that I got as a result of our sponsorship with the Facebook group. But I logged in and we were talking about it. I looked at their QuickBooks. That's what they wanted me to do. We do a quick 15-minute health check. I found out that, number one, it's taking them too long to run reports. It shouldn't be laggy like that. DB file fragments was in the triple digits. That was a problem. They're not doing backups like they should. A a lot of MSPs don't understand QuickBooks backup on desktop. So it's asking those pointed questions that says, hey, there's more issues. There may be a server problem, some of those things. So it's just, yeah, there are some marketing tools, some things that we can print out or email you so you can email to your customers. And then also simple, just really easy questions that you can ask while you're with your client.
Well, I think you just hit on a couple things right there. As you're meeting with prospects, or even prior to meeting with prospects, you can actually add the QuickBooks 15-minute check to your arsenal of marketing tools. And Brandon, I'll tell you, that would be a really great lead generation strategy that we could use, that we could put together in on our co-branded stuff that we're going to be doing, is maybe a sales page just for, hey, get a 15-minute quick check. And that's something that can be used as a lead generation strategy that can then bring, it's just different people, QuickBooks running, that could be actually your ad campaign, QuickBooks running slow. When's the last time you backed up QuickBooks? All these different things that still bring in the same exact type of client an MSP would want, but not asking the technical questions. It's asking the QuickBooks and the financial related questions, which then brings those people in. Which brings me one of my next questions. One of the things that we are really, really critical, or one of the things that MSPs really care about, is white labeling and all these different things. What's your guys' take on white label, and what's that look like?
Yeah, so currently we're not white labeling. We do everything under our brand, but the partnership, I like forming partnerships. So if an MSP brings us in, we do what we do. We do QuickBooks. Everything else, because I have a partnership, if I've got a partnership with you, Chris, I'm going to say, look, we've got some issues here, but I'm going to get a hold of Chris and I'm going to say, look, here's what I'm running into. So it's an automatic handoff. The client knows that I'm going to call you. So it's not a white label thing where you say, I'm going to have our QuickBooks division come in. I like the idea of having a relationship with you or whatever MSP in that you refer me out to them. We do it under our brand, and that business goes both ways.
I almost think that's a better way of doing it personally, because it's kind of something that MSPs don't necessarily want to touch. I mean, I like the white label mindset as long as it's something that's underneath my umbrella. But in this case, you almost, you're not MSPs are not financial managers, nor are they business managers in any capacity. So I almost think that's a better way of doing it.
Yeah, and to be very transparent, I'm not a financial manager. Mm-hmm. I've got some accounting under my belt. Now, our CFO, who happens to be my mother, we're a family business. She's a CPA that didn't like public practice. So we started this business 18 years ago with that in mind. We don't do bookkeeping. We know enough about the accounting. We can look at your QuickBooks and tell you that there's a problem, and we can refer you to a financial expert. So our primary mission is to make sure you know how to run QuickBooks, get it running the right way. But CPAs love us because when it comes tax time, they can get their taxes in and out, and that's where they make their money, is by just bam, bam, bam. I mean, tax clients in and out.
When you think about how much of a headache it is for accounting firms when it comes to tax time, or even quarterly review time, or any of these other things, when they have to deal with QuickBooks problems, it's a headache. And I think for all of you that are MSPs that are watching this is it's such a good lead generation tactic, because it's something you don't have to touch. You can hand it off, but you're still getting into the door with the client. And you then have a certified pro advisor that you can just hand off things to. So I think it's a huge avenue. I really like it a lot. Okay, so I know you have a form that we wanted to kind of show everybody, and I'm going to share my screen because I have it up on my screen, but also want to show this URL for you guys. You have on that URL, baronzinc.net/MSP. You have on that a specific thing, and I'm just going to scroll through it here really quick. Obviously, when you guys go to this, you can see this page. On the bottom, it kind of walks you through all these different pieces, 50-50 split of what. Talks about the free money, but then there's something that you can do. You can actually sign up here for a free call. And Brandon, I know you told me that you're going to put this into an actual a button for these guys because it got a little bit confusing. But that's where this leads, right to a button. You can see that. That's a 30-minute meeting with you guys. Anything you want to talk about with this specific page? I just wanted to kind of show this, and then obviously this leads into signing up. The same thing as well, right?
Right. That'll take you, if you fill out that form and go from there, that'll take you directly to the contract. Obviously, if you've got questions before the contract, certainly schedule a meeting with me. Let's talk about it. If you want to schedule a meeting with me and let me do a 15-minute health check of your books, if you're running desktop, then certainly be glad to do that. I say desktop, that's Pro, Premier, Enterprise.
Yeah.
Then certainly would be glad to do that with you as well.
My suggestion for everybody is actually just book a meeting on this link, talk with Brandon, get through that. What's, when you talk about the actual MSP contract for digital signature, what does that entail, and what is the MSP actually signing up for at that point? What does that mean?
Sure. So what they would get with that is obviously the commission split. But what we're going to do with that information is we're going to set you up as a secondary office on Intuit's platform, which is QuickBase. So Intuit would have you listed as a secondary office, as a QSP under Barron's. So that would give you credentials with Intuit, but everything is under our umbrella. So all of your sales, that's how we track all commissions. If we sell QuickBooks on your behalf, we're going to put it under your name. At the end of the month, we'll run commission reports. You'll get a copy of that report, as well as a direct deposit into your account for 50% of whatever it is that was sold, whether it's payments council, merchant service, payroll, or say QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop, whatever it is that we're selling on your behalf. So that's what you get by filling out that contract.
Okay. I think that's awesome. One other thing that I'm going to tell everybody today, if you sign up for a call with Brandon on this, off this webinar today and off of our future broadcast that we'll be replaying this a few times, you're going to get a copy of our new lead generation funnels that we're building with Brandon. So that's something that we decided that we're going to build, and we're going to do that. So you guys will all get a free copy of that if you sign up for them, which I still think like this is such a huge avenue to go in and get clients. It's a huge opportunity are you struggling with QuickBooks in front of your ideal prospects and let them come in that way. The lead still comes in, and then the discussion starts with QuickBooks, leads into cybersecurity and tech. Because actually, let me ask you this. All the clients you deal with, how many real cybersecurity / mess of an issue of compliance and all these other problems do you guys see in the wild? Yeah, I'm sure you see a massive amount.
A large number of them, I would say more than 90%, 95% or more. A lot of them either started out, everybody starts out in a startup mode, but mom and pops that have grown a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously we work with startups and mom and pops, but you get the mid-market. A lot of these people have kind of grown. They're good at their trade. They're good at but most of them don't have a clue about cybersecurity. They don't have a clue about servers. If they've got a server at all, it's somebody that their brother-in-law set it up 10 years ago. And they sort of maintain it. But so, most of them don't have a clue about what they're doing on the back end, their processes, their systems, things like that.
Yeah. So I think anybody is going to be able to benefit from this relationship with you just because of that. I mean, literally, even the clients that you work with, my suggestion is that everybody signs up to be a partner. Is there cost to be a partner for this, by the way?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. No. So when we go into that, there's all this upside and no negatives on this, and it's just
worst case scenarios. We sign you up, you fill out the contract, we sign you up, and you don't do anything with it. Then I'm out some time, you're out some time. Best case scenario is we build a secondary revenue stream for you and for me, and we both win, as well as a secondary marketing source, lead generation source for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I like all the things above it. We actually, when I had my MSP, Brandon, we didn't necessarily talk about this, but when I sold my MSP back in 2015, we used QuickBooks as a way to get into people. I didn't even have anyone like this. I didn't have this as an opportunity. So I think it's a huge advantage. And I really, really like the sound of all of it. So, okay, I don't have any other questions. Do you have anything else you want to add today? Because I think that was great content. I think there's a great opportunity for MSPs in front of them right now.
No, fill out the form or just schedule a 30-minute call. We may use all 30 minutes. We may not, but let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. We're going to be doing a replay on this right after this. We'll also do a replay later on this week. Brandon, great job today. It was great to see you, and look forward to releasing all those lead generation funnels. Don't forget, guys, use the URL on the bottom, www.baronsinc.net/MSP, and sign up for a free 30-minute strategy call with Brandon. All right. Thanks, Brandon. Have a good day, buddy. Let's talk soon.
Thanks, Chris. You too.
Thanks, guys. Yep. Bye-bye.